Welcome to Event Explorer, the podcast where we hear the behind-the-scenes stories of the world's best events. I'm your host, Daniel Roth. Well, winter is here, and honestly, there's something about this season that just hits differently. Sure, it's cold, but that's part of the charm. Snow on the ground, crisp air, and communities turning the chill into a reason to celebrate. Around the world, winter festivals take this season to the next level. Think about Quebec's Winter Carnival with its ice palaces and parades, or China's Harbin Ice Festival, where massive glowing ice sculptures look like something out of a dream. Winter is being embraced all around the world. Right here in the States, Aspen's Winterskol stands out as one of the coolest winter festivals around. For 74 years, it's been at the heart of Aspen's winter scene, with traditions like Torchlight parades, soup contests, and snow sculptures that bring the town together in the most epic of ways. And it's not just about events, though. It's about the community, the culture, and the vibe that makes Aspen, well, Aspen. Today, we're sitting down with Julie Hardman from the Aspen Chamber Resort Association to get the inside scoop on this year's Winterskol, from its history to its fresh take on some classic traditions. But before we dive in, let me ask, what's your winter vibe? Are you all about the festivals, hitting the slopes, or just hibernating with hot cocoa and a good playlist? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear about it. Drop us a line, share your stories, and let's celebrate winter together. And don't forget, hit subscribe on your favorite podcast app. All right, let's head to Aspen and see what Winterskol is all about. All right, Julie, welcome to Event Explorer. We are so excited to have you here to talk about Winterskol. It's got such a rich history, vibrant traditions, and the festival is really a cornerstone of Aspen's winter season. Before we dive into details, though, Julie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at the Aspen Chamber Resort Association?
Hi, yes, definitely. My name is Julie Hardman. I am the Senior Director of Events for the Aspen Chamber. And have several Winterskols under my belt, but I started my event career in 1996 up in Snowmass as just like an event intern, and then have just stuck with it. So I've been in the event world for over 25 years now. And I've kind of bounced back and forth between Aspen and Snowmass and have touched a lot of different events in my career path.
So Colorado born and bred is Julie?
No, actually, I am from Georgia originally. I grew up for, a passion for the outdoors and learned how to ski. And then, of course, once I got exposed to the West, I was like, oh, this is it. I'm out.
Very cool. So is Aspen home base now, or do you still kind of commute between the two?
No, it is. I have lived here 29 years full time.
Nice.
So I guess I'm a new local.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, 29 years is a pretty good tenure.
Right? Yeah, I haven't lived that long anywhere else. So,
to that point, I mean, there is a draw, right? Aspen is a one of the more magic kind of cities in the U.S. or towns in the U.S. It has a long cultural history. It has a lot of character to it. What were your first experiences like, kind of moving to Aspen and getting to experience some of those events yourself?
Well, I'll tell you, having skied in several different areas, I'll just say, skiing alone, it's just a different experience here. I mean, the fact that we have 4 different mountains that you can ski under one lift ticket is pretty phenomenal. It is a real town. It's not just it wasn't an area that was built. I mean, the town existed first and then the ski area was built on top of it. But I think because of that, it's got that rich culture and the fact that you do have so much arts and culture and entertainment on top of it. It's a tiny town, but it doesn't feel tiny, right? We still have the best musical festivals, the best arts and culture access. Our art museum's amazing. We get some world-class dance performances here. It's just, I don't feel like we're missing anything by being in such a small town. So, and it's very unique in the other areas that other ski towns I've been to. It's just very different. I feel like a lot of them feel like they're only a ski town, whereas this really just, Aspen really envelopes so much more than that. It's makes it a place that you can stay for a long time.
Very cool. And you have a part of that culture and the part of what, maybe Aspen offers that other places don't, it doesn't, don't, is our festivals, Aspen Food and Wine, Aspen Ideas. I know X Games started, I think, out of Aspen as well. I mean, these are major global events with coverage that expands, the world over and gets kind of the top minds there. What do you think some of the reasoning is that, I mean, but it's a beautiful place and it's a great place to go, winter and summer, but is there kind of a culture there that brings the attention and that people, even locals, want to attend events and things like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think, we were lucky because, our founding fathers are the ones that started this process. So not only was Aspen known for its silver mining back in the day, it was discovered we found the largest chunk of silver in Aspen. So that's what put it on the map to start. And then some of our founding fathers of this area started that Aspen Ideas, which is like the philosophy of mind, body, and spirit. And I think that started the Aspen Institute and bringing in that culture of skiing and the X Games. And I think because of our rich history, it's invited all of these events that have become world class.
And now you mark the calendar kind of with some of these events. This is almost a 365 kind of event season in Aspen, right? It's summer and winter. You're pretty much always busy, I'm guessing, with events.
It is true. And I think, the difference between the two events that the chamber produces is Winterskol, which is our winter celebration we'll talk about a little bit more. But the other event that we produce is the Food and Wine Classic in Aspen. So they're very different events. The Food and Wine Classic is 41 years old. So we do have like longevity here. Nothing seems to die too quickly. But I think we're just really fortunate to have, these types of events that are here. All the events that I've worked on, these truly are world-class events. They do hold up to the location that they're in.
And some people really know the town for these events. Aspen Food and Wine, like you said, I mean, it takes over the town, right? You're kind of populating every restaurant, bringing chefs in from around the world. What's the buzz like in summer when that's going on?
Oh my gosh. So, that's what I was going to say too. So it's our kickoff to summer. That event really gets everything going. It's a takeover. It's just as you would say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. It's Happy Food and Wine. And Winterskol is a little bit the same. It's like Happy Winterskol. So it is a vibe in town, and everybody lives it. I think that's the cool part about doing these large events in small towns is that it really is kind of a takeover, and everybody's in it, and it just adds to that cool, fun energy. But the summers are, they say you come for the winter and then you stay for the summer. So the summers are really, truly amazing here. There's definitely something all the time happening, but not in an overwhelming way. It's, just really cool stuff that you can enjoy. And there's different levels to being able to appreciate it as the locals. Not everything costs something. You can sit out of the lawn at the music festival and listen to the orchestra playing and have a picnic, and just like there's ways to incorporate that into our lives that just make it more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. So Aspen Food and Wine is the young kid, and then we have the younger sister or brother, and then we have Winterskol, and that's been going on. I said now it's over 75 years, and it really has been woven into the fabric of winter in Aspen, especially from kind of a local aspect too. It's a local cultural kind of invention. Tell me a little bit about that. And when did you first kind of learn about this history, and what influence has it had on you and your time in Aspen?
It's funny. It is actually a fun story. I think most resort towns do have some kind of winter celebration and carnival. How Winterskol got started in Aspen was basically a group of locals. Historically, it's been in January. So this is the first time we have a date change to December. So for 73 years, this event was born and raised in January. And this local crew got together, and I think that, they had survived that busy holiday season, even back in 1951. And it was a little bit of a lull after the holidays that these locals were like, hey, you know what? We made it. We love winter. Let's celebrate our way, for us. And that's how Winterskol got its name, because they were basically like, cheers to winter. And so I'll tell you, over the years, it's pretty amazing. The Historical Society has a ton of cool images from back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s in their archive. And I recently dug through some of them just to see some of the events that used to take place. And it's been everything from like on-mountain activities to different events in town. Like we have, snow sculptures are a very popular historical part of the event. There used to be a huge parade that was almost as big as our 4th of July parade back in the day. For the most part, there's always been fireworks and a torchlight descent. But to hear the on-mountain activities included like a slalom race where you had to be linked up with people. So like on your arm, so it was 4 across. So it was a linked arm slalom, and then they had to go down the race course like that. They incorporated a Winterskol queen back in the day, and part of her abilities included her skiing abilities. So not only her beauty, but how well she skied. Now we do Winterskol royalty, so it can be like a man and a woman, or 2 women, or whatever, just 2 people in our community that are chosen. And let's see, what else have they done? They've done like ski touring behind dogs and horses. There's been I would say a lot. There used to be a big ski splash up in Snowmass that they built a big wooden ramp and had people ski down the hill and into a swimming pool. No liability.
It's almost like a zany, there's like a craziness, not in the best sense of the word, for the personality of the people of Aspen and how they put this event together, right? I mean, totally. You don't take yourselves completely seriously in doing some of these things.
Well, and I think that was exactly part of it. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, because I think, there is this element of Aspen that it has to be the best of the best in that world-class scenario. And I think that this is a true testament to the locals, and that we're here to have fun. And we're here because we love winter. We love skiing. We love every bit of it. So it's our time to really just let loose and celebrate all the things that we love.
Speaking of winter, I mean, we talked right before this. It's there's flurries, but when we think Aspen, I mean, we're talking feet of snow. It can dump on you. It can be, a lot to deal with. So tell me about. I mean, this is a big event. How many people are you expecting, to attend Winterskol this year?
Well, the cool thing about the event is that most of it is free. So we don't have the proper number attached to it. We kind of guesstimate anywhere from, probably around 5,000 people that participate. But we have, it's 4 days long. It covers all 4 mountains. So it's hard to track exactly how many people. We can individually guess who participates at each event, but it's hard to have a full number. But that's kind of our guesstimate. So it is, but town is also busy, or it has historically been in January. So this will be kind of a new twist. I think by moving it to December, we're pulling it out of a super busy time frame back to how it originated, back to its roots, so to speak, and bring it back to a time when the locals have a second before the holidays and they have a minute to like, hey, let's go hang out and really start getting ready for winter. And
so similarly to Food and Wine, you've positioned it a little bit more this year as a kickoff to the season, and a celebration of kind of. I think that's a really nice thing that people can kind of celebrate Aspen before it be kind of, everybody else comes in and visits, that you can remember why you're there and how great it is. I know, what a great place for so many people to grow up and to really have, a unique culture, but also you sometimes feel like a tourist town a little bit, because that's the economy. So this is a really nice way to say, no, we are Aspen. We have a local tradition. Do you get a sense of that? Is the community kind of just gung ho about putting these different events on?
Well, it's been tricky. And this is part of the reason why we changed the dates is because January was sandwiched in between right after the holidays. I mean, we had days to pull it together for Winterskol. And then it overlapped with Gay Ski Week, which is another huge event that comes into town. And it overlaps with the production of X Games. So it's a pretty rough run after the holidays. A lot of people are unfortunately sick. I think they're feeling overcommitted. So our participation in the event really was lacking. And so we adjusted the dates in order to kind of focus back on we can't do this event. We can't carry it another 70 years without the local support.
I see.
And so far, yes, we're feeling all that energy coming into it this year. It feels really good.
Very cool. So this year, 2024, what are the traditions what are the major traditions that you'll be staging this year that have kind of made it up and now make up kind of the core of Winterskol?
So a couple things. One thing I think one of your thoughts going into this was, how do we keep this tradition alive, right? How do we keep the energy behind an event that's 73 years? It's not easy, folks. It's like not everything, you have to evolve. You have to make things fun and engaging, and not everything can be the same. Like, we can't do the ski splash anymore. So how do you top that? So we are kind of constantly trying to evolve and make it current to the day, right? So last year we added a beer festival, which we've never done before, and it seemed to make so much sense since it's an actually cheersing to winter. So we have a beer festival now that we've incorporated. One of the most popular events that we do is a soup competition with the restaurants. And this year we have 12 restaurants competing. It's free and open to everybody. So the restaurants come out, they make 30 gallons of soup each, and everybody's given a sample-sized cup. They go around and taste all the soups that they can handle, and then they vote for their favorites. And then the winner, they do win a cash prize, but then they also, obviously, the bragging rights are the most important takeaway.
Everyone's got to come try that soup this week. I mean, you can just imagine kind of walking around the streets with a hot cup of soup. I mean, it's perfect, right? And it is a celebration. Yeah. Really what about these on mountain kind of? Yeah, I saw the explain a little bit about setting up and what the torch run kind of is. You're still doing this, right? Yeah.
That's
Torchlight
definitely
descent.
A tradition. Well, as you know, living out west, we don't have a lot of opportunity for fireworks in the summertime. It's just too risky. So the winter's our time frame for fireworks. So the fireworks are a big tradition. Prior to the fireworks launching, we do what's called a torchlight descent. So literally roadside flares in each hand. They start at the top of the Little Nell Run on Aspen Mountain. And then everybody snakes down together like a big line of people with their flares on each side. And it's just a really cool image. You want to be farther away from the mountain so you can see it. But it's basically a line of red lights coming down the mountain. Typically, it's 300-ish people that participate. And as soon as they all get to the base of the mountain, the fireworks go off. So it's just another fun little visual to see coming down.
Amazing. Maybe I can get some video or photos from you. I'll share it on the feed because it's just it's visually stunning. You can kind of get a big sense of scale and the scale of the mountain there too, and kind of just the love for being outside in the winter sports from that too. And then this year, I imagine there's kind of music, entertainment, that kind of thing. Like what is the event, the core event kind of feel like to that you build?
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's 4 days. So we kind of launch everything on Thursday. We're really focusing on the community this year. So we're doing a ton of free events for the locals to come, have a drink, appetizer, just get together as that core community. We have free movie screenings. We always do Aspen Extreme. So we did a buyout at our local movie theater. And so we're showing Aspen Extreme on 4 different theaters. We have the prizes that we give away, anything from Warren Miller, 75 is showing Saturday night of Winterskol. So we're giving away a couple tickets to that. We've got local festival tickets to give away. We have lift tickets to give away, of course, swag. So just kind of fun things to focus on that local community and get them going. We have a late night show at Belly Up, like a $5 show. That's our music venue. And then Saturday is kind of our main event in Aspen. And so that's where we have a big mobile stage that comes into the park, which is right in the center of town. We've got the 2 bands playing throughout the afternoon. We have our Soup School event, which I mentioned. And then we have our beer festival at the same time. We also have our snow and ice sculptures out there. We have a kids sculpt competition that we do. So 4 different schools come out and sculpt their little sculptures, which are pretty impressive. And we have food vendors and some regular, retail vendors out there too. We give free kettle corn and hot chocolate to the community. And then in the evening, when that all dies down, we start a big bonfire in the middle of the park. And then we encourage people to hang out and watch the fireworks from there.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Well, I think a lot of people think about, I'm just going to go to Aspen and have kind of this touristy, just stay at the ski lodge experience. I hope that this gets people thinking about, what another way to see Aspen, and definitely to get a little bit more slice of local life. So I think it's great what you and the team are doing. As things move forward, how do you think Aspen, it's a smaller town, and I know that there's, kind of this population influxes. How do you think the event world kind of in Aspen will continue to evolve? Do you see kind of more events being positioned there? Do you think you're kind of at the max, of what the town wants to support? How do you see the kind of future evolving here for Aspen as it continues to grow?
Well, it's a really good question. If I had that crystal ball, it would be helpful, right? I think in the course of my career in this valley, it's ebbed and flowed a lot. It's like, we need more events, we need less events, we need more events, less events. So it's kind of come and gone, but then I think it automatically ebbs and flows too. We keep getting X Games coming back, which is an event that the ski company brings here. But we don't know if it'll last forever. And if it goes away, we've had the World Cup races come and go over the years. So I think there's a little bit of that where it ebbs and flows. I think we're always going to have events here in Aspen. I think there is always going to be a demand for that. We have a lot of events are destination worthy, but then the events like Winterskol are more just while you're here, there's things to do, right? It's more of the entertainment factor. Not that skiing can't be enough, but
oh, certainly.
But you can't watch fireworks while you're skiing. So I think that there's always going to be demand. We're actually in the process of putting together kind of some updated economic impact reports just to find out, how much the town is being impacted and by our events. And we always keep our finger on the pulse as far as that goes.
And how much it benefits too, as well. I mean,
keep myself a job.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, for a small town, a small city, it makes a huge impact. And I think events and the hospitality, that you and your team provide is a big piece of that. So I just, this is great. Thanks for letting me talk and learn and having the audience learn about Winterskol. I think what I love is these organic traditions that are born in, and it's people like you and your team that are keeping them going. I mean, we're making new culture here. 75 years is nothing to scoff at. You know what I mean? Like that the work and the love and the effort that it's taken to keep this event going is really something special, and it defines what Aspen local culture is. It's not people coming in and putting a new stamp on Aspen. It's something organically grown. So I wish you all the luck and success in this year. I hope that the snow continues just being light flurries and not making it too difficult to move around. Will you see some time on like a snowcat or a plow this week?
Oh, that's so funny. Because it is a real conversation. We had to meet out in the parks last week to assess the snow conditions in the park. They are going to have to groom the section of the park for not only safety and ADA purposes, but also because we got 2 feet of snow recently and it's making it a little bit challenging, but we never complain. We never say we have too much snow. So, it's just all part of, doing events outside is always fun and challenging. I will not be in a snowcat, but you never know.
They might get you in one. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining. I wish you all the luck this weekend. And I hope, if people haven't made their plans to come to Aspen this year, they think about this as a way to kind of kick off the holiday season or get some time in December before the slopes get too busy next year and the following year. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I do want to mention, we've talked a lot about how Winterskol is, all for the locals and local community, but we do absolutely encourage guests to come and enjoy this celebration as well. So this year, just to reiterate that the event does take place December 12th through the 15th.
Very good. Very good. So that's coming up here. But we'll definitely blast this out, especially if people can drive it. I got lots of friends in Denver. They should come visit that weekend. Exactly. You're not going to get the same experience anywhere else or at any other time of the year. So, all right, we'll take the trek. All right, Kim, thank you so much. Nice meeting you.
Thanks for including Winterskol.
Pleasure. That's a wrap for this episode of Event Explorer. A huge thank you to Julie Hardman for taking us behind the scenes of Aspen's Winterskol Festival. From its humble beginnings in 1951 to the vibrant celebration it is today, Winterskol truly embodies the spirit of winter and community in Aspen. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn for more updates, behind-the-scenes moments, and festival stories. We'd love to hear from you. Share your winter festival plans with us and keep the conversation going. Until next time, I'm your host, Daniel Roth. Happy exploring.